Okay, so same fit I'm wearing in tomorrow's video. Now, tomorrow's video, I'll start with the same intro where I say I'm recording these in advance, but I realize I recorded them out of order. Since this one will be coming out on Friday, I want to talk about... oh, good and bad, my season recap or whatever, how I felt about this half season. So first, my favorite team comp to play and my least favorite team comp to play against. My favorite team comp to play was Strange Thor. We played Strange Thor. I'm gonna say it. For supports, I had Gambit Luna in the team comp, because I'm thinking of a very specific game that I played. And I had fun. They probably did not. They probably did not have fun. We had Luna ult so often. We had Luna ult like instantly. We had Luna ult before we had Gambit ult. It was on the Wakanda control, not control, the Wanda convergence map. We both get to the point. They have to capture the point, and then it's convoy. And we apparently, because they calmed it, we lined up perfectly. So they hit all of us and most of the enemy team with every clap. And so they just got their ult so fast. But that game was incredible. I love playing Strange Thor, because every time I flick the shield, I prevent the Thor from getting... whoever the Thor kidnaps, I prevent them from getting heals. I can do a lot of outward damage. When I explode, most often it hits whoever Thor kidnapped, even if I'm not aiming it at him. As for DPS, I don't really care, man. I don't feel like a lot of the DPS are super impactful this season. When I'm playing a game this season, and I think this is probably the weakest part of Rivals for this season, in my opinion, I never felt like I was getting diffed by their DPS. Sometimes I'd get like a Magic who hard carried by constantly taking out one DPS and one support, which is constantly in the backline. We couldn't stop it. The only DPS I did not like was probably Blade. He was just very annoying. But the DPS don't matter. I don't think none of the DPS really felt like they were the most impactful in my games. Like, from game to game, they had pretty average value across the board. Like, if I was getting diffed, or if someone on my team was doing phenomenal, it was typically a tank or support. The DPS wasn't really outstanding, and that could have just been my games. I'm all for saying that's just my games, but I just want to say that I didn't think they were that impactful this season. But my least favorite team comp to play against, it was Mag, Angela, Wolverine, Blade, Loki, Gambit. The hell that I go through when I play a team with even like half of those characters. If I play against Angela Wolf, I want to uninstall. I genuinely want to. What am I going to do? I'm getting grabbed by Angela from the back. No, unless I play Mag and I use the bubble shield on myself every time I hear Angela coming through our team, then I'm never escaping it. But if I play Thing, Wolverine and Blade just walk into me. Blade can apply anti-heal. The more I damage Blade, the more likely it is that he puts up his block, and if he puts up the block, then I'm just recharging more anti-heal for him. He's slashing super fast. He's just cutting through my health. Oh my god, it's so annoying. He also self-heals. That buff to Blade was insane. It was insane. He went from I never saw him, and when I saw him, he was somewhat good in 1v1. He was kicking my ass in 1v1 sometimes. But for the most part, he wasn't too much of a nuisance. I could play around him. If there were games with Blades, more often than not, I would say, hey guys, I'm really struggling. I don't know what to do. I could play support, I could play DPS, just get me off tank, because I am really struggling, right? And I was just, wow. I did not know what to do. So that's my least favorite team comp. And then my just opinions on the season at all, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was as good as last season, specifically with the introduction of Deadpool. While Deadpool was cool and everything around that was hype, it was just that he wasn't very fun to play against. And sometimes, a lot of the time, he wasn't very fun to play with, because I didn't feel like I had a second tank. It felt like solo tanking, because he's just kind of a fat DPS. Outside of his unicorn shield, but if he uses the unicorn shield like you use any other tank shield, then you don't really get much value out of it. The most value you can get from it is by cutting off the enemy's healing. It just didn't feel fun to play with sometimes, because I felt like I was solo tanking. Didn't feel very fun to play against, because there's constantly an ult on the field, especially if it's support pool. Oh my god, especially if it's support pool. But outside of that, outside of Deadpool, not always, and sometimes he felt really fun to play with or fun to play against, right? Sometimes. But he didn't always feel super fun, right? He didn't feel oppressive in any way, where like I couldn't personally play the game because they played Deadpool. It's just not fun, you know? And I thought last season was fun. I thought last season was pretty good. Like it's more of the same old. If you like the brawl characters and all the characters you play are brawl or dive, then you probably haven't thought many of the last seasons were not very fun. I know I'm privileged to play tank. Privileged. I suffer. But that means that a lot of the characters I end up playing are like Mag, Emma, Strange. They're pretty much poke. Mag, Emma, Strange I play a lot. Groot you can play as poke. Penny you can play as poke if you need to. And since poke's been doing really well, since it's the strongest in the game right now, it does kind of... Yeah. Like, yeah. Of course I'm going to think the game's fine and balanced because I'm not playing the characters that suffer. But, well, I don't think it's balanced. Hold up. Let me clarify that. I don't think it's balanced. I think it's fun. I still think it's fun. I thought this last season was very fun. It was very good. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Alt spam was not annoying because it only got worse with the introduction of Deadpool. They didn't do anything to nerf Gambit, and his ult enabled alt spamming, so his enables alt spamming, and they still haven't nerfed everything. They still haven't nerfed all the stuff that was a problem beforehand. They nerfed things that were kind of non-problems, or buffed things that I didn't personally feel that needed a buff. Anyways, that's about it for... I cannot speak for shit. Holy. That's about it from me today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Wet Willy.